gone.
And hello, welcome to solo playthroughs. We are going to Dungeon Lords today with Braevalar. So super excited about this one. Been a while since I played Dungeon Lords. I did a practice game last night. I started off terribly. I had a decent hand, tried to take on a hidden tomb. Excuse me. Man, COVID keeps on giving. Tried to take on a hidden tomb right next to a early monastery. I picked a absolutely terrible dragon, and that didn't go very well. Was able to avoid wounds, wasn't able to kill it, so I was super stalled early, but still the power spike in this scenario with even only 5 rounds is absolutely bananas, and was able to win on the very last turn of the game in round 5. So that seemed like a cool warm-up for me, so I'm just ready to go and excited to see what happens today. Last time I did Dungeon Lords was with Arethia. Arethia took down like I think took down a Draconum Summoner on like the second turn. It was absolutely bananas, and then just absolutely crushed the rest of it. I know there are some ways to make this one potentially harder. I need to kind of look more into those rules and how to do it. But with Braevalar, this is going to be a decent challenge. Definitely not a gimme. You can kind of just run into some badness that can really hinder you. Like, I don't know, maybe a Manticore or two. I already see Saget in the chat. Saget says the Legion awaits. Is wait what? I'm not sure what the wait what's about. And Urel says hello, welcome back to solo playthroughs. Hello, sir. Hello, happy hot Wednesday. The power spike will pierce your soul. This is the new motto of Team Manticore. Excellent. Well done. Hello, Saget, Silverfear, and Urel. Again, looks like we do have a decent little crowd to start this. Apparently, people like Mage Knight. Who knew? I kid you not. Like, one of the reasons I wanted to go to 3 live playthroughs a week was so I could play more Mage Knight. I felt like I was getting so wrapped up in other games and new games and review copies that I wasn't able to get this to the channel as much. So excited for that opportunity for sure. Same can be echoed for my feelings about Spirit Island. So set up in this game, I do have all the expansion content. Now, I will warn you, there is one countryside tile, I think it's number 12, that comes from Lost Legion, that doesn't always fit with the rules of the scenario. If that comes out and I cannot place a hidden tomb, I will just replace the tile with another tile that is not in use. And it just is what it is. You do want to separate the 2 dungeons on the countryside tiles. So I mean the two countryside tiles that have printed dungeons on them, separate them from the rest, because when you take out the tiles that you're not using, you do not want either of those to be amongst the tiles that you're not using. Whoa, a lot more comments. We have Hammy says, good luck, can't stick around because apparently I have a job, but I'll watch the VOD later. Thank you. Saget says, indeed, we went past 38 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Fahrenheit today. Yeah, I hear there's quite the heat wave going on in the UK and the rest of Europe right now. So hopefully you all are staying cool at times. Miss says, glad I was able to see you are streaming. Sad that I had to lose my internet connection. That's not good. Hammy says, hot take, Mage Knight is good. I bring the hot takes all the time. I'm glad someone noticed. Silver Fear, yikes. I'm in Northeast USA, and we are at 95 degrees with humidity. Yelp. And B Downing says, good morning to all. Alaga says, Mage Knight or too many bones? Well, we did too many bones yesterday. That was really fun. And then, I rolled 2 damage at the one time I could not afford it to happen the entire playthrough. So, but that was a fun, still trying to work that one out. Michael Newsom says, hi everyone, Mage Knight, woot, woot. My thoughts exactly. So I'm going to shuffle up Braevalar's deck while we're over here on the left side of the screen. Make sure there's 16 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And then we have the artifact deck. I will shuffle up these as well. So yeah, very cool. The again, it's important that you only are taking out tiles that have 2 dungeons. the two pre-printed dungeons. Now there are going to be secret dungeons next to villages, or hidden dungeons, I should say, and there will also be hidden tombs next to monasteries. Now there are no tombs, there are no printed tombs at least on the countryside tiles, so you don't have to worry about that during the setup. And then when it comes to core tiles, you always use core tile number 1, so it's the one that has the monastery and the tomb. So again, effectively that will be 2 tombs that we'll have to just deal with in the late game. And you also will always have the blue city. The blue city is friendly, so you'll put a shield on it that will give you +1 card draw if you're adjacent to it. There is always obviously that dragon in the mountain there, and then you're going to basically put a secret tomb there, generally speaking, depending on where the blue city comes out. So knowing that you have the blue city that you're going to have to deal with, you are going to want to have at least 1 or 2 or 3 spells, advanced actions, artifacts, something that will let you get over this lake. And if you can actually avoid having to spend any of your attack on that dragon there in the blue city, that would also be quite excellent. So let me shuffle up the countryside tiles. I'm going to need 5 more, because there's going to be 7 countryside tiles total in a solo game, and obviously 2 of them are going to be the dungeons there. What do we have? We are doing Dungeon Lord scenario. Yes. Sajid, breaking news. Dice rolling destroys another solo playthrough stream. Or just makes it better. Depends on your perspective. Michael Newsom, ready for the spinoff? Too many Mage Knights. Sajid, question. Standard setup or playing around with making it more challenging, perhaps, though with crappy MIDI guys, probably tricky enough as it is. Yes, I think you were the one who gave me a comment about how to make this one harder. Again, I haven't actually gone, I didn't spend the time to find the thread. I know there are different ways to do it, but I think I was just going to do the standard setup unless you have a quick suggestion. Better than Mage Knight Bones. Mage Knight is the Never Dying classic from Olagus 85. Sajid Krang is effectively the Bones character of this game. Yeah, that kind of works. Although he's kind of like one of the Bones baddies more than a Bones Gearlock. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So we have the 5 countryside tiles here. Actually, let me not get this too far off camera. I'll put this over here. And then we're going to shuffle these in with the 2 dungeons. Debating whether I want to roll a die to totally randomize this. That's fine. I'll just keep these 7 pretty random just by some shuffling. And then on the bottom of that, we're going to have the blue city, and we're going to have the core tile. Those will randomize, and those I will absolutely shuffle. So randomize with the die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I rolled this 5 thing. There is our terrain deck. We're going to have a wedge-shaped map. So core tiles, again, cannot go along the coast and need to be adjacent to 2 other tiles. We're going to put the starting terrain out. Right off the bat, we're going to have a tomb there, and we will have no tombs or dungeons on this tile. Now, note, when you conquer a tomb or you conquer a dungeon, that basically starts a labyrinth that's underneath Atlantis. So you can't re-enter to attack another enemy like you could normally in a game to get rewards, although most people don't ever do that. You don't really have the time. But what you can do is use movement to get all the way across the map. So in my game yesterday, I had an early tomb, tried to conquer it, didn't work. I went ahead, conquered everything else, and then I spent a ton of movement to get back because I had just using the labyrinth system that had developed based on all the tombs and dungeons that I had destroyed as the game went. Oh, I do need the enemy tokens. So we get some marauding orcs on the starting terrain. We're going to get a marauding orc next to this monastery over here. That's going to be face up. That is an orc summoner. That's a good way to start the game. And then over here, we are going to have a digger. Again, the digger has fortified, so it cannot be attacked with ranged attack. And the orc summoner, for the attack portion, will use, and the block portion, technically as well, will use a summoned random monster enemy. We're going to put a dragon token face down next to the monastery, and it has to go on any kind of terrain that is not a lake, a mountain, or a swamp. So we're going to put this here. Again, it's face down. When I'm there, it's still considered a safe space, But when I'm there, I can choose to enter the secret tomb, and then I'll just flip over the dragon. If I fail to defeat it, the dragon is discarded, and a new random dragon will be placed there for the next time I try to conquer that. We're going to set up the initial unit offer while we're over here. We have foresters, we have Utham guardsmen, and we have illusionists. Again, these are base game rules, so there's only going to be 3 units in the offer, only 3 dice in the source. I'm going to roll the dice in the source. While I'm speaking of that, we get a gold, a red, and a blue. Remember, gold mana is only so helpful in this scenario because we're going to be doing a lot of things that only involve night rules applying, right? You cannot use gold mana in dungeons, whether secret or actual dungeon, and you cannot use gold mana in tombs, against secret or otherwise. Additionally, units are they're kind of useful in some ways, but you do not need to get many units in this game. If you get 1 or 2 units, that's probably maybe 1 too many, because again, you cannot use your units in any of these secret tombs or secret dungeons. And this card, oh no, I don't know what card it is, but I definitely have a split in one of my advanced actions. I will fix that after off camera. The split in the sleeve. Sideways shuffling is caught up over the years. All right, so that will work. I'm going to get the advanced action offer. We have steady tempo, stout resolve, and pure magic. And then over here, really like steady tempo for the scenario, we're going to have diplomacy because, again, we have our monastery on the board. Monasteries be unlikely to be burned down because we're going to be so busy doing the tombs and the dungeons. And honestly, we're not going to need another artifact. We're going to get so many artifacts as it is. And there is a thing about this scenario that deck thinning all of a sudden becomes a very, very viable strategy because your deck is too big is often too big late scenario where it's really hard, late game where it's really hard to get through your deck because you have so many cards that you've accumulated. So I will be using artifacts rather aggressively and kind of just burning cards just so we can kind of keep this sucker moving. So really like stout resolve, really like for that reason. In my my game off camera, I had both the Bow of Stars Dawn and I had the Sword of Justice. So the idea that I could just like throw away cards to get the attack 3 was great because you have so many cards. It's a really good way to use them. And those artifacts really do gain a lot of strength in this scenario. So we have the spell offer. We're going to have Call to Arms and Call to Glory. Again, not that amazing in this scenario because I really don't care about units that much. Tremors, also not that big of a deal because we're not facing that many enemies, although it could be a nice way to reduce 1 dragon's armor by 3. And Wings of Wind is everything. I'm a big fan of Wings of Wind in this scenario for a lot of reasons. Being able to say to the dragon in the night rounds, or actually in a dungeon, even because night rules will apply, hey, you don't actually attack me, could be a really, really good way to kind of move us along. We're going to have our dummy player. So off to the left over here, I have Crane, Goldix, Arethia, Tovak, Norwas, and Wolfox. So let me roll a d6. I rolled a 4, so we're going to get Tovak. Tovak's in the house. So don't particularly love his skills for this game. I had Wolfhawk in my game off camera, and her Know Your Enemy skill proved huge. I pulled out the Circlet of Proficiency. I broke it to get the Know Your Enemy skill, and it was just absolutely amazing for sure. Where is the cooperative skill? So here it is. So this is the competitive skill. I'm going to start with this in. I'm going to put the cooperative skill off to the side. If the competitive skill comes out, then I will just put the cooperative skill in. Again, there's this discoloration with the early printings of this amazing game. All right, lots of comments. Making Mage Knight harder. What is this madness? Is Michael Newsom. Sajid says, so weird to think that I've been playing this game for 11 years and still feels fresh as ever. Yeah, no doubt. Sajid, maybe once I will be showing this to my grandkids or something, it will feel outdated. Never be downing. Mr. Solo always reminds me of how inefficient my Mage Knight no guy skills are. Sajid, the general suggestion is to add 1 extra countryside tile to the game to make this more challenging. Alternatively, may add 1 extra dungeon once you reveal 2 monasteries halfway between. Ooh. Interesting. I wouldn't mind adding another countryside tile. Let me try that. I'll do that. There's one more countryside tile, and we'll see what's going on. So there's now 8 countryside tiles. Michael Newsom, Sagitt showing the grandkids Mage Knight solid grandparenting. Said Michael Newsom, says that's a Sagitt. This is a skill game. Keep playing and practicing. You will get better. I know it happened with me as well. Mage Knight skills are autocorrect. I am in my 30s, FYI, so the grandkid stuff is some time away. Nice, Michael Newsom. Yeah, you learn the card spells and artifacts better over time. It's okay. Need to set priorities early. Saying that the Sagitt and then Sagitt Call to Glory would work even from a dungeon. Not the best option, but could be a good one depending on offer. Yeah, I definitely see that. All right, let me put Tovak skills up here. And oh, I do need Tovak's round order marker. This is going to go here. And let me shuffle up Braevalar skills. All right. Braevalar skills are interesting. I had the wound management one can be great, where it's a little mana intensive, but you just have a round where you're just kind of, basically just moving somewhere and just get rid of a wound and allows you to draw a card, so it helps you get through your deck a lot quicker. I do need Tovak's D deck. That's Krang. Tovak, that's Goldix. Rethia, of course, it's got to be at the bottom. Here we go. That's there. The skill card reminders, Tovak's hero card. I'll put him on there. We have 2 blues and a red to start the game in Tovak's crystal inventory. And let me shuffle up these 16 cards, and I think we'll be good to go. Oh, I need to put a Mage Tower garrison there. So a lot of interesting things on these tiles. I mean, I think from a movement perspective, this is still my best bet. I go to that mine, I get a blue crystal, I kill the orc summoner. Hopefully I get concentration and one of my swiftnesses just to make it super mana or just super, card efficient in that first round. And then, we'll kind of keep exploring more tiles, hopefully get a village out there, see another dungeon, things like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is set. Give me 1 second. All right, we should be good to go. It looks weird. Yeah, we're good to go. All right, my phone's going off. All right, excellent. So we are set. Well, Tadget says Team Manicore did some solid early work to enhance Greg's suffering. I mean, chances by adding extra options on that additional tile. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I mean, I got super delayed early and managed to pull it off camera. So hopefully this one will work. And I kind of like the idea of finding some way to increase the difficulty of this scenario for sure. So my early hands are my early card draws: March, Druidic Path, Promise, Concentration. Druidic Path is an upgraded stamina. It's one of Braevalar's 2 special cards. Again, Braevalar comes with the Shades of Tesla materials. So if you're like, I don't know this Braevalar, well, number 1, he has a really garbage mini, and number 2, this is one of his 2 special cards. So Druidic Path is interesting. The move cost of 1 space is reduced by 1 this turn to a minimum of 2. So you can't make a plains go to 2 from a 1, but I can make a hills go from a 3 to a 2, or I can do move 4. The move cost of 1 type of terrain is reduced by 1 this turn to a minimum of 2. It's essentially a slightly, not even, it's certainly a worse version of Wolfhawk's special skill, where she has what is it? Stamina? No, not stamina. It's relentless. So I don't know why it's so like neutered. I wish it was a little bit better, but it does the trick. So we're gonna have to pick my day tactic. I will go with planning. I think that makes the most sense. And again, this is just like the normal solo conquest. Every day tactic will be used once. Once it's picked either by me or the dummy player, it comes out of the game. So I'm going to roll a die for Tovak. He rolls a 6, which is fine by me. So it does mean I will have initiative in this first day. So planning every time I end my hand with 2 or more cards in my hand, including wounds, then I'll be able to draw 1 more than my hand limit. Again, my starting hand limit is 5. So with the first turn, I am going to probably do Druidic Paths. I don't have a Swiftness, which I would really like. I have an Influence card, which is kind of garbage. So let me get that out of my hand and hopefully give me a more chances to pick up one of my Swiftnesses, because then I could use Concentration and wipe out this Orc Summoner over here. So I'm going to power. Ooh. But the bad thing about doing that is I'm going to use that gold, and I might need that gold to power Concentration. So let me not use that gold for March. Will play Druidic Paths. I'm going to power it with the blue, so that gives me move 4. And again, I could move right in there because, again, the move cost of one type of terrain is reduced by 1, so I can reduce the cost of moving into the hills. End of my turn, I'm going to drop Promise. I'm going to roll this die. I ended on a blue mine, so I get a blue crystal. The die I rolled ended up being blue again, so there are lots of blues to start this game. And then I'm going to draw to my hand limit, which is 5, plus I get another one because of planning. BS Swiftness. Ugh. Well, I guess I'm going to take on the summoner the old-fashioned way. That's fun. I do have mana draw, I have determination, I have concentration, so I should be able to block most things that come my way. It's just not the preferred way of what I wanted to do, but maybe the swiftnesses will come in pretty big later down the road in this first day. So Tovak's turn, we get a green, we get a red, and we get a green. There are no green crystals in Tovak's inventory, so that is the end of Tovak's turn. My turn, I'm going to take on the summoner. I cannot defeat it in the ranged or melee phase or ranged or siege attack phase. So we are going to have the Orc Summoner attack with a random monster. I just don't want to see the werewolf. Anything with a werewolf. All right, it's the Crypt Worm. That's not terrible. So I'm going to play Determination, get block 5, use Threaten Sideways for block 6. I do not want to take 3 wounds this early. And now since the Crypt Worm is blocked, it just goes away. Now I need to defeat the Now I need to defeat the Orc Summoner. I'm going to play Mana. Ooh, maybe I save Mana Draw. Nah, let's use Mana Draw. So I'm going to play Mana Draw. I get to use a second thing. I was thinking about maybe I use my blue crystal, but actually I think it makes more sense to actually build up some crystals here. And then I'm going to play Rage for attack 4. So in the melee phase, I defeated the Orc Summoner, who only has an armor of 4. He's defeated. That's going to give me +1 influence, and then I should probably look at the fame before I throw these things across the room, and that gives me 4 fame, so I will level up. And then my turn, I'm going to roll these 2 dice. I get 2 greens. I'm going to get there is no reward for defeating an orc plus other than the reputation. I do end my turn in the blue mine again, so I get another blue crystal. And now I'm going to look at the top 2 skills because I've reached level 2. Ooh, interesting. What do I want? We're going to do Feral Allies. Exploring costs 1 move less, so that could be huge in a solo game. Plus, once a turn, I get attack 1 or reduce 1 attack of an enemy by 1. Alternatively, I got Forked Lightning. Once a turn, I get ranged cold fire attack against up to 3 different enemies. Attack 1. So that is against, I can't stack that against 1 enemy, so I can't make this cold fire attack 3. That's too strong. Cold fire attack 1 ranged is interesting. I do think that extra -1 movement to all of the exploring I need to do. Remember, I need to explore 9 times. 9 times. I feel like, what is it, Ferris Bueller's Day Off? 9 times. I don't remember Ferris being absent 9 times. Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to have to explore 9 times. So that's going to save me 9 movement over the course of the game, plus give me a lot of reduction of 1 attack, which could be really strong, especially against elemental enemies or enemies with elemental attacks. So I'm going to take the Feral Allies. I'm going to put this off the screen. Technically, that card is still, that skill is still in the game. So if I get something like Circlet of Proficiency, I'll always bring it back. Tovak adds a skill to the offer. Tovak's skill is, I don't give a damn. Yeah, once a turn, a card can be placed sideways for +2 instead of just +1. Or if it is a spell or an advanced action, it is +3 or an artifact. And now I'm going to grab a card from the source. Steady tempo is super interesting. The problem with steady tempo is, well, it could be strong early. I mean, you're not really going through your whole deck often in Dungeon Lord, so it's not going to be as strong as it is in other scenarios, but I could definitely use some enhanced movement. So I'll take steady tempo, but this is going to, if I do that, then I'm going to lose Stout Resolve. Well, the nice thing about taking steady tempo is it prevents him from getting in Tovak's deck, and Tovak does have 2 blues and no greens in his inventory, so I think that makes some sense. So I took steady tempo, and now I'm going to draw to my hand limit, which is 5. Since I have 2 cards, I'm going to get 6 because of planning. So steady tempo, rage, what are you? Crystallize, and we have swiftness. Checking the comments. ID Jester says, hello there. You are making me actually want to open my box and play this game. Do it. Sajid says, do it right after the stream, of course. By the way, you were still missing the, oh, I am. I am. So it's like, I already ruled it out because I just knew I wasn't going that way. So I was like, who cares? But this is going to go face down over here. We just want to create the thematics and set the ambiance, importantly. We have ID Jester says maybe tonight then. Michael Newsom, Mana Draw is a good card. Yeah, it's really good. Sajid, have you tried before or would it be first time? ID Jester's first real try. Been a few years since he even looked at it. Yeah, definitely try it, dude. Sajid said, cool. Well, the best is probably if you have someone walk you through, but there was a ton of content online, which is semi-introductory. So that is also a good starting point. Yeah, I say this a lot. I'm not the greatest channel to learn Mage Knight. I am a good channel to get better, I think. I've been told. But introductory series, I know Ben Fiedler had a series, which isn't talked about much. Heavy Cardboard had a series. Ricky Royal. I love Liz Davidson's series a lot. I think her introductory stuff is great, and she just has a really, really nice way of explaining things. I mean, she's a teacher, so that kind of definitely comes out. So I would definitely recommend her. She has Beyond Solitaire. Really, really good stuff out there for Mage Knight tutorials. All right. That was the end of my second turn. We now go to Tovak. Tovak gets a red, a green, and a red. There's 1 red crystal in Tovak's inventory, so 1 more card comes off. It is Mana Draw, so that's a white. Now it's my turn. I'm going to, well, I can do some kind of cool stuff here. I don't think I need that many blues in my inventory. So I'm going to use this crystal from my inventory to play Crystallize to gain a crystal of another color. I'm going to gain a red because, red's always helpful. That is a special effect. I'm going to do the movement phase of my turn now. I will play Steady Tempo. I'll power it with the gold. I'll hold on to the concentration and the swiftness just in case I find a dungeon on the next. I would like to conquer a dungeon at some point in this first day. So steady tempo gives me move forward. At the end of this turn, instead of putting this card in my discard pile, I may place it on the top of my D deck. Don't mind if I do. So that's move 1, 2. Remember, I have feral allies, so I'm going to explore. And I think that's just a passive effect. Yeah, that's just an absolute passive effect. So I don't need to exhaust this and only have access to this once a turn. I could always explore for 1 instead of 2 for the rest of the game, no matter how many times I explore in any given turn. So this is my 3rd movement point. I'm putting this out. Oof, no dungeons or tombs. We're going to get another orc. I'm definitely not going to be able to attack that tomb, I don't think. I have no spells. I have no nothing. This sucker is a witch. I have 1 more point of movement left. The witch gives me 3 fame, which isn't enough for a level up, unfortunately. Give me another reputation, which also doesn't matter that much. I dropped all my influence cards, so that's not going to matter. I have 1 more point of movement left. I wonder if I go. I wonder. I think it makes sense to go try to get here, and then I could explore 2 more times by the end of the round. I can't obviously do that from the mountain, so I think I'll try to get here, and I'll just kill that witch, get some extra fame, and really start working my way toward a level up. Since I haven't had a lot of opportunities for dungeons or tombs. So yeah, no village. Yeah, these are not good starting tiles for this scenario. So I'm going to spend the march. It gives me move 2 more. Again, I had 1 movement remaining, so it's move 3 into the hills. And while I'm there, I cannot take out the witch because I used that. So I'll just wait till next turn, which I'm fine with. I'm going through my deck at a pretty decent rate this time around. So this goes here. I'm going to roll the red die. Or I could have, there's no new information coming out. If I turn that blue into a green, just from an action efficiency standpoint, instead of turning it into a red, I think that makes the most sense. So I got no new information. Oh, I explored. I technically explored. Nah, I like red crystals. And I have a ton of green in there. That's fine. So let me re-roll this gold. It's still gold. I'm going to draw to my hand limit, which is 5 plus 1 because of planning. I get improvisation, I get tranquility, and I get stamina as my 6th card. Oh, wait, that doesn't go there. This goes back there, goes back into my hand. So steady tempo should be in my hand. Don't forget the special ability of steady tempo, Greg. All right, we have a blue, we have a blue, we have a white. No white crystals in Tovak's inventory. He's going nice and slow. My turn. I'm going to play steady tempo for move 2. Use Tranquility Sideways for move 3. That's going to get me here. That triggers an attack from the Cursed Hag. I have to do that as the action for my turn right now. I'm going to play Concentration plus Swiftness. That gives me ranged attack 5. That's enough to defeat the Cursed Hag. Remember, the Cursed Hag has 5 armor. She has an attack of 3 if I didn't defeat her in the range attack phase. And also, if I don't block that 3, for every wound I take to my hand, I get a second one. I'm sorry, it's poison. So it's poison. If every wound I take to my hand, I get a second wound into my discard pile. And if I apply a wound to a unit, the unit gets wounded twice, not just once. But anyway, Cursed Hag is super dead. Defeated her in the range attack phase. I get +1 reputation, +3 fame, and I'm going to re-roll that. It's another green. I end my turn on a red mine, so I get a red crystal. These crystals will really come in handy as I start to get some spells. And now I have improvisation and rage and steady tempo. Again, don't forget it. At the end of my turn, instead of putting this card on my discard pile, I can place it on the bottom of my D deck as long as it's not empty, which it is not. So hopefully I can just get a bunch of exploring done in this first day. I draw to my hand limit, which is 5 plus 1 because of planning. Hey, look at that. It's steady tempo. Who would have known? Tovak's turn. White, green, and red. 1 red in Tovak's inventory. That comes off, so he's giving me a lot of turns. Planning is now useless because I have no more cards in my D deck, so I'm just going to get rid of that. And what do I want to do? So I have 1 with the land. I have steady tempo, so I have a ton of movement. A little bit worried I don't have a lot of good attacky cards like in the advanced action offer. Not taking stout resolve might be something I regret later, but it is what it be. So steady tempo I can no longer put on my I can place it on top of my D deck if I do the enhanced effect, even though my D deck is empty, because it would basically become the top of my D deck. That might be worthwhile. Yeah, I think that's worthwhile. So I'm going to play steady tempo. I'm going to power it with the white, with the gold. It's like white. Man, I'm really struggling with colors today. Colors are hard. So that's move 4. So I'm going to move 1, 2. I'm going to use 1 point of movement to explore here. Here we go. It's a dungeon, kids. It's a dungeon right in my face. I don't think I have the firepower to take it out, but I might be crazy enough to try. Ooh, I got to think about this. I want to think about this. So this is a keep enemy face down. This is a mace. That is like the perfect tile. I could not have asked for a better tile there, for sure. We have a Mage Knight. Oh, when I added that extra country set tile, I didn't reshuffle, but whatever. It is what it is. I made it harder on myself. I mean, it's still, essentially random. Someone's gonna be like, "You didn't shuffle. It's not perfectly random. It doesn't count." Like, yep. All right. My impressions of some of my commenters gets better and better over time. I'm going to want to figure out what's the best way. Still need 3 more movement to get in there, which is a little bit rough. I have a lot of solid cards here that I do think taking this dude down is going to be interesting. One with the land, again, I get block equal to the unmodified move cost of the space. So I could get block 4 there. I have improvisation. I have range attack 3 if I can get a white crystal. I think my best play is to, well, I could explore anyway. As long as it's not an orc, that's fine. As long as there's like nothing in my face. And then on the next turn, I can move 4 because I will have steady tempo back. And we'll see if we can pull this off. So I'm going to explore one more time with my last point of movement. All right, here we go. Things are starting to happen. So we have a green mine. We have another orc up here. That is going to be the Prowler? No, Skirmisher. No, Prowler. Why do I always get these two confused? It's the Cthulhu Panda dude. It is a tracker. I wasn't even close. Killing it, guys. And then we're going to have a secret dungeon next to this village. So I could put it in the hills or I could put it in the plains. I will go ahead and just put it in the plains and it's face down. Again, I could put it on any terrain other than a swamp. So that's going to end my turn. I'm going to re-roll this. It goes back on top of my deck, and planning would trigger still because I still have planning technically, and that would come here. I rolled a red. I don't hate it. All right, let's see what happens. Tovak's going to go 1 and 2. Tovak's going to declare end of round next turn. My turn, I'm going to use steady tempo. I'm going to power with the blue crystal in my inventory. That moves me into here. I'm going to take on a random monster enemy. Woo. I'll look at this in a second. Let me catch up on the chat. Silver Fierce is +1 beyond solitaire, 100%. Mega Newsom, I watched several videos from Modern Cardboard. He does a great job of explaining combat and other aspects of the game. Yeah, maybe I always say heavy cardboard, but it's actually Modern Cardboard. Maybe they both do a series. I wouldn't be surprised. Sajid, you taught me how to not bother about wounds as much and how the math of burning monasteries is actually in your favor. Oh, yeah. ID Jester, yep, I watched Liz's tutorial yesterday and finished them this morning as I was planning on getting out Mage Knight soon and watched a bunch of your that give me a good idea how to think about stuff and what to do in the game. So thanks for that. No, thank you, sir. I appreciate the kind words. Things not to learn from Greg: counting and dice rolling luck. Yelp. Or color differentiation, apparently. Michael Newsom, yeah, I was super scared of wounds when I first started playing. Silver Fierce is also shaving techniques. His beard is amazing. Yeah, my wife doesn't think so, but I'm glad you do. ID Jester, question: I thought you couldn't move after you did your action. Am I wrong? No, you're totally right, but I didn't do an action. So explore counts as part of movement, and any special effects are not considered actions. So like when I did the crystallize, that just you can do at any point in your turn. Healing effects also you can do at any point during your turn. But when I moved like here, I moved and that triggered an attack. The attack becomes my action, if that makes sense. Sajid also not learn from Greg differentiating colors. And then Michael Newsom, yeah, it's never action then move. So yeah, Sajid's absolutely right about that. I think I beat him to the joke. Unfortunately, sorry to kill your thunder. All right, monster. Oh no, it's Medusa. Well, Medusa's attacking me with a 6. I will need to block her. I'm going to use 1 with the land, so I'm going to get block 4 from that. 1 with the underground, as you know, some might say, and then I'm going to use improvisation, discard another card that gives me block 3. Or actually, I can reduce her attack by 1 with this. That's even better. So she's actually only attacking me with a 5. Ooh, I have a couple options how I want to do this. Do I want to move again at the end of this turn? Yeah, I probably do. I will have 1 more turn. So let me do this the most efficient way. So I'm going to block 1. Reduce that by 1. I block 4. I'm going to play Swiftness sideways for block 5. That's enough to block her, and then I'm going to play Rage with one of my red crystals for attack 4. Again, no reputation increase because we're in a dungeon, so you know no one saw it, so we didn't. Our reputation in the countryside did not improve, but we do get 5 fame, which is super nice. That gets me up to 12. She's out. That's going to give me a level up. I'll just take that now before I forget. These go away. I'm going to re-roll this green, so those crystals coming in really big early. Steady tempo. I did power it with the blue, so that goes back there, and then that will go back into my hand. Since I was getting steady tempo back, I wonder. Nah, I wouldn't have had the. I have so much movement, but I wouldn't have had the attack forward. Would have been hard. I think that was the most efficient way for me to do it. I think I would have had to use too many cards to try to save that red crystal, so it's not even worth trying to replay. Oh, I will have another card though. Oh, that's true. Because I know I'm getting an artifact. Let me try to save that red crystal. So if I blocked 4, I blocked. That was my block 5. And let me do attack 4. Steady tempo was going to come back here. Yeah, but I might actually want to use that for crystals and stuff. Now I'll keep it the way I have it. I'll keep it the way I did it. Red crystal, gone. There'll be other opportunities to get crystals for sure. All right, so I'm here. I'm going to get my reward. When you defeat the random monster in a dungeon, you roll an extra mana die. I got a white, so that's going to give me an artifact. Again, basic colors give you an artifact, so 2/3 of the times you're getting artifacts. If I rolled a gold or a black, I would have gotten one of the spells from the spell offer. Amulet of the Sun, gain a gold mana token if played during the night. Forests have their move cost reduced to 3. You can use gold mana and reveal garrisons of nearby fortified sites as if it were day. Same as the basic effect, except you get 3 gold mana tokens instead of 1. That could be really strong. Shield of the Fallen Kings, block 6 or block 4 against different attacks. Cold Fire, block 8 or up to 3 Cold Fire, block 4 against different attacks. This is not as strong in Dungeon Lords because you don't have multiple enemies very often. Amulet of the Sun can be pretty excellent, so I will definitely use that. What am I doing? I'm putting my hand underneath the artifact deck instead of the artifact itself. And again, I already did my level up. So I got my reward. I did my level up. I put a shield on the dungeon. I'm going to draw up Amulet of the Sun, and then I had steady tempo as well. Tovak declares end of round. So I actually have a bunch of movement now. And I gain a gold mana token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I get over to that village, although I was originally thinking just getting to that green mine to get a green crystal. But I think getting to that village is going to be a little bit more effective. So I'm going to play Amulet of the Sun. It's going to give me a gold mana. I'm going to use that to power steady tempo. I'm going to use the red and the source to power improvisation. I discard stamina, so that's move 9 total. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. I can actually move just through there, if that's what I'm doing anyway. Oh, interesting. Or do I get the Utham Guardsmen, even though I can't use them? Or I get the Foresters. The Foresters. And I'm +1 reputation. All right, let me move the move 4 to get here, and then I'm going to use the influence 5 to get the Foresters. I will want to come back and defeat that dungeon next turn, but now that I'm on the village, I can pillage it, get +2 cards. It would just give me a lot more options. So I think grabbing the Foresters now while I could made a lot of sense. All right, so steady tempo, you can see how efficient that makes your turns. This technically comes back here, but you know, I don't have any more turns, so I'll just put it there, and I'll put Amulet of the Sun in my deck as well. So not a lot of attack in my hand. That eventually is going to, that could be a problem later. right? So I'm gonna need to get spells or artifacts that really beef up my attack when I start to take out Draconum. Right now, we're looking at a secret tomb that has not been defeated. We're looking at a secret dungeon that has not been defeated. We have managed to take out one dungeon, and we'll see how the rest of this works out. We have Sajid says you will get back steady tempo anyway. Yeah, just realized that. Hey, Dursu's here, Warlord Drake. Again, Drake Seaward, otherwise known as Warlord Drake, otherwise known as Dursu Salazar, the man of many names. He is the one who designed the Return of Apocalypse scenario. He has his own channel. If you speak Italian, I definitely recommend checking it out. Or if you don't, you just like listening to Italian, why not? It's Mage Knight. Hi, Greg. Greeting from Italy. Unfortunately, I cannot follow the live entirely. May I join you the next Mage Knight via Discord? Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, hit me up on Messenger, man. We'll definitely talk about it. Take rewards for dungeon, good options, get foresters. Yeah, Sajid. There with the right answer as always. Michael Newsom, you're leveling up fast. Good on you. Nice first round. Odds of winning improving. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's weird. It's weird to have a nice first round on Dungeon Lords where I only defeated one of the dungeons, but it's definitely set me up fairly well for the rest of this campaign. And obviously, movement should not be an issue, which means getting back to this guy should be doable, because right now the closest space I have, so if I'm going to use the labyrinth system later to get back to this dude, the closest space I have is here, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and then depending on day or night, 13 or 15 away. So that's a little bit rough that dude's just hanging out in no man's land, but we will figure it out. We have the new unit offer is shock troops, Utem crossbowmen, and the Guardian Golems. Stout Resolves added the 12x deck. It's a white crystal to his inventory. These move down. We're going to add this to the unit offer. It is Blood of the Ancients. And we have in the unit in the advanced action offer, Ritual Attack. Call to Arms is going to cycle. We get Wings of Wind and Tremor move down. And up here we have Mist Form, another strong movement. Oof, so much good movement, guys. And I'm going to re-roll the dice in the source. Green, green, white. This comes here. And I will set these. Drawing up to my hand. Oop. 3 4 should be on top, not 5 6. That would be crazy. All right, drawing it to my hand limit, which is 5. So it's a white, a green. God, really, colors, man, are killing me today. White, blue. I was predicting the future is what I was doing. White, blue, green, white, and red threaten. I mean, I could get another dude from the source. Or from the unit offer, which I just can't see the benefit. I mean, this is where like Norawas and like Bonds of Loyalty is like so sick if you can get it early in this scenario. So Night Tactic, I'm gonna take. I mean, it's hard. I might just want to go first. Now I'll do Long Night. It's good to try to do that early. It's most useful. And I got a 4 for Tovak. So Midnight Meditation is out. I have Long Night. So once this night, if my D deck is empty, I can shuffle my discard pile, put 3 cards at random back on my D deck, then flip this card face down. So it's a good way to get some more turns. And again, if I'm going to use it in Dungeon Lords, it's got to be this round because my deck is going to get really, really big as we go. I'm dropping cards everywhere. I'm tempted to take the Uthran Crossbowman. Again, I will potentially have an above ground dragon I'm going to want to kill by the blue city. So that could come in handy. I'd have to use this red though. I don't love that idea, but I'm +1 on reputation. It's a weird first turn. All right, let me explore twice. I'm going to play stamina to explore twice. Again, exploration costs 1 less for me. So we're going to get a countryside tile here. Ooh, that's a tile. That just got super interesting. So, and we get a countryside tile here. All right, bunch of dungeons everywhere. So we have a secret dungeon here. We have an actual dungeon here. And we have a secret tomb here. We have a keep over here. Notice keeps and monasteries. I just really keeps in well, monasteries too, and mage towers. I really just don't care about right now. And we have an actual orc face up here. It is the Wolf Rider. One more countryside tile, thanks to Saget, and then we get into our core tiles. And now I'm going to use my red crystal to get influence 5. I'm +1 on the reputation track, so that's influence 6. I lose a reputation at the end of the round. It gets me down to 0, but I will take myself the Utem crossbowman. Because why not? These come here. I'm going to draw to my hand limit, which is 5. And then I'm going to pillage the village. Gets down to 0. And then draw to my hand and draw 2 more cards. 1 and 2. Not exactly the hand of dreams to take out a monster, but I should have enough. Oof, I think, maybe, sort of. If I take a couple of wounds, it's fine. I have tranquility, so I think I can make it work. I just have to start doing something for sure. The only ranged attack I have is swiftness. I don't have my concentration. All right, I think I'll be able to make it work. So Tovak's gonna go, so it's a green, it's a red, 1 red crystal, it's a white that comes off. My turn. I'm going to move 2 to go back to this dungeon. And then I'm going to attack this random monster enemy. It is a what are you? You're a minotaur. I wanted to call it a centaur. I'm like, nope, that's not right. So do I have block 5? Then I would need attack 5. Or I could do this and only need block 4, but then I still need attack 5. Block 4. I can do it. It's going to cost me all my cards, but I think it's worth it. So I'm going to use this, reduce that attack from a 5 down to a 4. Now remember, the Minotaur has brutal, so if I don't block it, the damage is doubled. If I block it, it doesn't matter. It's not swiftness. I don't need double block. I just need to make sure I block it. So I've reduced the attack from a 5 to a 4. I'm playing Rage for block 2. These 2 cards sideways for block 4. It is fully blocked. Now remember, I can't use my units because I'm in a dungeon, and they're scared of dungeons. I'm going to play Swiftness, power with the wife and the source, that's attack 3, and then you use these 2 cards sideways for attack 5. So I used every one of my cards. That's fine. I'm trying to get through my deck anyway. I have Long Night. These cards weren't amazing. I have a lot stronger cards coming up, which hopefully I will be able to use to defeat whatever dragon is looming there. So Minotaur is out. I'm going to get 4 fame. I go from 12 to 16. Boink. I'm going to re-roll that die. It's now a blue. All these are discarded. I'm going to get my reward. My reward is going to be a spell or an artifact. I'm rolling this die. It's a red, so it's going to be an artifact. Oh, man, this is bad. Tome of all spells or banner of command. I'm going to take the tome. I don't really want this banner, although normally I would love it. I don't need a 3rd unit, and I have no attack. And Tome of all spells will at least give me an opportunity to use something in this source here. Now I'm going to do my level up. The next 2 Braevalar skills. We have the cooperative skill. Again, cooperative skills in a solo game, you can use the primary benefit, and then on the next turn, the very next turn, you can use the next benefit. So it's Nature's Vengeance. Reduce 1 attack by 1. That enemy gains cumbersome this turn. So you can use movement to reduce the attack. It can be very, very strong. Put the skill into the center. Until the start of your next turn, any player may return it to you face down to get the same exact benefit. Or I have a movement skill, which honestly I don't need. So I'm going to take the cooperative skill. I'd be tempted to take I don't give a damn, but then I'd have to take pure magic, and I'm pretty light on mana now, so that's probably not the strongest. I'm going to add this. So we have Tovak's movement skill, and then I will grab Ritual Attack because I think it's absolutely perfect for this scenario. Throw away an action card. Depending on its color, you get Attack 5, Ice Attack 3, Range Attack 3, or Siege Attack 2. And then if you power the red, those values are enhanced. So it's a very nice card. Ooh, Counterattack is also a very nice card. So I draw to my hand limit, which is still just 5. Ritual Attack, Tome of All Spells, Promise, Determination, and Amulet of the Sun, which could be really nice. Except I don't have a lot of movement. I've moved 2 from here. If I drop Promise. Ooh. I put that out this turn. There should be another advanced action in the action offer. It is Ice Bolt. I won't have enough for Influence 6. I'd be tempted to take Ice Bolt otherwise. If one of these units had Influence, I would probably burn that. 5 cards is not a lot when you're trying to beat a dragon. You heard it here first, peeps. All right, Tovak's second turn. It's a white, it's a blue, it's a green, no green card, no green crystals in Tovak's inventory. So that stops right now. I'm going to use the Foresters for move 2, and then I'm going to just drop Promise. I'm worried Tome of All Spells isn't going to be that helpful either. They don't have... There's not a lot of great attacks there, and I won't have the card colors in my hand that I want anyway. So let me be more efficient with this. In case I pick up like a rage or whatnot. Wait, I still have a rage. I still have improvisation. So let me be more efficient with this. I'm going to use Tome of All Spells. I'm going to discard the white. So now I can use Wings of Wind. Again, I use the basic effect of a spell of the same color from the spell offer without paying its mana cost. So I don't need to spend the mana. So it's not like what's that tome? What's that? There's that spell card, spell magic, spell something, where you can use a card in the spell offer as if it was in your hand. So you still have to spend the mana, but this is not that. So I can use this, and then I'm going to use the Foresters for move 2. And Wings of Wind, I can spend 1 or 2 movement points and move 1 reveal space on the map. I must end in a safe space. Now this is a safe space because it's an adventure site. It will cease being a safe space. Well, it's always gonna be a safe space. When I reveal the dragon, I have to attack it. If I don't defeat it, it goes back to a safe space with another unrevealed dragon. So I draw to my hand limit, which is 5. We have improvisation and we have concentration. Oof. That I think should work out well for me. I don't love it, but I have some interesting options. I mean, I can get a Siege Fire Attack 3. I have block. I can make things cumbersome. If I take some wounds, that's not a big deal. I still have 1 with the land, I think, which again is a heal 2 effect. 1 with the land is the other one of Braevalar's special cards. Range Fire Attack 4. I can make it Range Fire Attack 6. Usually not going to be enough to defeat a dragon. And the other option is I come here. take out the dungeon first. Let me see what Tovak does. So Tovak's got a blue, and a red, one more card. So that was Tovak's third turn. 4 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards. So that was 11 cards out of the 17. So he should have 6 cards left in his deck. He does. Reduce the attack by 1 and give him cumbersome. Just worried I'm not going to have the attack. But then I can reduce how many wounds I take. As long as I don't pull the Draconum Summoner. All right, let's see what happens, kids. Oh, I can reduce his attack by another 1, too. This could be interesting. The High Dragon is not terrible. Fire attack's not great because he's fire resistant. So let me see how I can get the 9 attack here. I mean, that's attack 7, that's attack 9. If I don't block him, it's just 4 wounds. If I reduce his attack by 1 and give him cumbersome, I can get this down to 2 wounds, I think. Yeah. Think this will work. So I'm actually not using ritual attack the way I thought I would. So he's attacking. Again, it's the High Dragon, has fire resistance, ice resistance, and has a cold fire attack 6 and has brutal. I am going to reduce his attack by 1 and give him cumbersome. So now it's an attack of 5 with brutal. So if I don't block it, that's 10 points of damage. But with cumbersome, I'm going to play the Amulet of Sun sideways so basically I'm like moving around so it doesn't hit me directly. So that actually reduces the attack to 4, and then I'm going to use this to reduce the attack to 3. So 3 points of damage come in. This is not partial block. You cannot partial block unless you're playing competitively. This is just using cumbersome and reducing the attack. So I reduced attack by 3. I didn't block it. Brutal triggers are 3 points of attack that get through, becomes 6 points of damage, which is just going to be 2 wounds to my hand. That's fine. Now in the melee attack phase, I'm going to power concentration. I'm going to play another card. I'm going to play improvisation. I get the stronger effect +2. So I get attack 7. I discard a ritual attack as part of improvisation. And then I'm playing determination, which is going to give me attack 9. So it really kind of came together for me there. It was a good pull. The fact that it had the resistances meant I could just audible instead of using ritual attack the way I did. I thought I would. I got the attack 7 with improvisations. That was fine. So this dude's dead. I don't get any. Again, it still happens within the secret tomb, so I don't get any reputation increase. If it was a marauding or a rampaging dragon, I get +2, but I do get 9 fame. So I go from 16 up to 25. That dude is dead. And I'm going to roll this. That's gold, which is useless. I'm going to put a marker here to indicate that that secret tomb is dead. That was now connected to that. So from go to there, it's going to cost me 1, 2, 3, 4 points of movement. You can't go through swamps that way, but there are no swamps. You can go under a mountain because, it's a tunnel. And of course you can tunnel under a mountain. This has to be used in my next turn or it goes away, so it might come in handy for that dungeon. I'm going to get my reward. My reward for defeating the dragon in the tomb is going to be both a spell and an artifact. I will take the... I'll take Tremor. I just think it's a little bit stronger than Wings of Wind for me right now. And there's a green in the source, so it could come in handy. And now I'm going to get my artifact. Oh. Sapphire ring or golden grail. I'm also going to get a level up, so my hand limit is now 6. Golden Grail is tempting because I have 2 wounds, but I know I still have one with the land in there, which gives me heal 2. So that seems a little silly. I'll take the Sapphire ring, especially since I'm so light on crystals, and I'm going to need to fix that as we go. All right, I draw up to 6. I get the Sapphire ring, I get Tremor, I get Swiftness, and I get Rage. So so much for one with the land, which should be one of the last 2 cards. I think Steady Tempo and one with the land are my last 2 cards, which is a little bit of an unfortunate shuffle, but we made it work anyway. Tovak's turn. It's a green, it's a white, it's a green, no greens in his inventory. It's my turn. I'm going to move 2 to get here. I'm going to use the Sapphire ring. Do I want to? And I'm just effectively wasting that, unfortunately, but it just wasn't meant to be. So this will flip, not being used. I do want to draw the next 2 cards into my hand just because. So then I'm going to play Sapphire Ring. I get a blue crystal and a blue mana. The blue mana is wasted, but I get Fame 1. That's out. I draw to my hand limit, which is 6. Long night triggers. I shuffle these. Three cards get added to my D deck. The rest of my discard pile goes down there. Tovak's turn. 1, 2, 3. It's green. Tovak's going to declare end of round next turn. My turn. I'm playing 1 with the land. I'm going to power it with the green from the source. That gives me heal 2. So no more wounds in my hand. 1 with the land's going to go away. I re-roll that. Be green, please, or white. Now I wish I took Wings of Wind. It's funny. And now I picked up, Sapphire Ring, Swiftness, and Tranquility. That's not great. Don't think I have enough to take on a monster with this particular array of cards. So I will probably not, but I could defeat that next turn, head up there, and then, I could put a countryside tile there, core tile, or even if I put the blue, or try to get a blue city there. Yeah, defeat this, come up there, defeat that, core tile, and that will get me closer to this dude, which is where I want to be anyway. I think that makes the most sense. So I'm going to play Sapphire Ring again. I get a blue crystal, a blue mana. Blue mana is going to be wasted. No, even better. I'll use the blue mana on Steady Tempo. That's going to move me here. Oh, I need move 5 to get in there. So that's move 4. Here's move 5. And then I will engage the Wolf Rider. Wolf Rider is attacking me with a 3 with Swiftness. I'm going to reduce the attack to a 2, so I just need 4 block. No, that's fine. I'll reduce the attack to a 2, whatever. It's only 2 points of damage. I take a wound, and now I'm going to power the Swiftness with the white from the source. Oh, I get the +1 fame because of the Sapphire Ring as well, and then that's that. So that's going to be enough. That's attack 5. I get attack 6. Who cares? That's enough attack to defeat the Wolf Rider. It's +1 reputation. That's +3 fame. I go from 27 to 30. And then I end my turn on the Magical Glade, so I just throw that wound away. This will come back atop my D deck because I powered it with the blue from Sapphire Ring. I rolled that. It's a green. That could have been helpful if I was with Tremor, but it didn't work. I redraw this. Long Night goes away because I already did it. Tollback declares end of round. Yeah, let me just get back on top. I mean, I'm tempted to stay there and I start with a gold, and then I just need to move 2, and I have the Foresters. Yeah, it's perfect. I'll stay exactly where I am, and we'll call it a day. So that was the end of the second round. Tovak's going to get a blue added to his inventory, another white crystal added to his crystal inventory, or blue added to his D deck, another white crystal added to his inventory. That's shuffled. These 2 go away. We should have actually 2 there now. This comes down. This goes away. New in the unit offer is Mountain Lore. I love that card. Shield Bash. Hate that card. The math of Shield Bash is absolutely stupid. The new spell in the spell offer is Snowstorm. Love that card. Units go away. 3 new basic units. Give me 3 rounds left. We're actually in a really good spot, I think. We have Savage Monks, we have Magic Familiars, and we have Scouts. Rerolling those dice, it is a gold, blue, blue. And this will go here. All right. Wings of Wind is underneath the spell offer. Let me shuffle up my D deck. Checking out the comments. Uh-oh. So much. Nice first round. 3 explorers, and right next to a dungeon is good progress. I really enjoy the scenario. It's nice and quick. I do like the Utah units for sure. What I like in this one is the massive leveling you achieve in the multiple high difficult single combats. I played 1 game of this scenario and ran into 2 medusas right after each other. That's rough. Sagitt, things that real, target rich environment. I have not played Braevalar much. Sagitt says, yeah, you really need some attack, magic talent. There you have the blue advanced action I was forgetting before. You should try to hit this dragon. Icy or summoner would be an issue. Most of the rest drops dead for sure. Michael Newsom, I wouldn't call a space with a dragon a safe space. Start with the add effect, more info. Can you? Yeah, I guess you could do it in any order. The spell's like listed first. I always take the spell first, but yeah, you're probably right. Michael Newsom, why does he have to use a cooperative spell? This is how it works in solo. You get the first effect in your turn when you use it, and this how you. And then if you want to get the secondary effect, it has to happen in the next turn. Otherwise, you simply lose it. Michael Newsom says, "Gotcha." I don't usually utilize the co-op spells. Co-op spells can be very strong. They're kind of. It depends on the character. It depends on the situation. Wolfhawks is bananas. It's so good. I think it's the best one of the bunch. Sagitt, why not? Worst case, you have to block a bunch and heal later. Michael Newsom, I called it a spell. I meant to say skill. Yeah, I was with you. Sagitt, I would probably try to take down a monster now. Poor archers are completely forgotten. Yeah, they were. Oops. Whatever. They look pretty. Yeah, that's right. I could have just used them. It didn't. I knew I was healing, so I just kind of forgot. Sagitt, why not explore from the glade? That's a good question. Why didn't I explore from the glade? I think I'm a little worried. I don't want to get a dungeon out there and then be kind of pulled off. I think I'd rather do it up there. It's gonna pull me off the track. But yeah, I probably should have. Eh. Wait, quartile. I could do core. If I do it here, that quartile, I think that's probably a little bit better. And it's only 1 point, so I don't think I'm wasting much movement. But yeah, just to be efficient, it probably would have been better there. But I like this trajectory. I think it makes a little bit more sense of where I'm going. You signed a space with a defeated Drac with a shield token. Why don't you do the same with the space with had the Minotaur? Huh. Because I forgot. Yeah, this should have a shield token. Thank you, Dursu, Kev M. Hey there, just wanted to take the time. Thank you for Friday video. I'm playing it several times a week now. Just several of these are abstinence so quick and satisfying. Yeah, Friday's really good, man. It's really, really good. All right. It is now the 3rd round. Did I already roll that? Man, I'm quick. I had to, right? Because it's on the day side. I literally don't remember rolling that at all. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to draw up the hand limit. I'm losing my mind, kids. It happens. So we have the Tome of all spells, crystallize, steady tempo, rage, and swiftness. I think I actually put steady tempo on the bottom of the deck because I'm not so sure I'm going to need it. I mean, that's a pretty straight shot of whatever, but this is bad. Oh, I have snowstorm. Ha! Crystallize is amazing for that. Okay, I start with the gold. I need to pick my day tactic. Oof. I'll take great start. It does mean he's going first. He rolls a 6, a 1, so Tovak takes early bird. I'm going to grab 2 cards. 1, 2. Great start's out, and Tovak's first. Tovak has 18 cards in their deck. All right, first card's coming off. It's a green, a white, and a red. 1 red in the inventory, so 14 cards left. My turn. I'm going to... Yeah, the foresters are also useless. This is bananas. Yeah, there's a lot of craziness right now. So I'm going to move 2 with the foresters. They're not going to be that helpful later because I'm just moving up planes anyway. And then I'm going to attack. I'm going to draw a random monster enemy from the dungeon. It's another minotaur. It's like, I just killed your brother. Why are you here? I'm going to... Can't use gold. I'm going to play Tome of all spells, discard a card of any color, use the basic effect of a spell the same color without paying its mana cost. I get the snowstorm, ranged ice attack 5, that defeats the minotaur. So I don't even use this gold mana, but we have managed to save the day. So this dude is dead. That's going to be 4 fame. It gets me up to 34. 1 away from a level up, but that's fine. I'll drop threaten because it's pointless and I need more movement. And that will go there. I do get my reward though, so I have to roll a mana die. Oh, it's a black. So I take a spell. I just need more attack. I don't have a lot of attack in this deck. I'm going to get Snowstorm. I got a lot more dragons coming up. I got pretty lucky that I was able to piecemeal the last attack. Oh, this co-op skill should re-ready. And I draw Snowstorm. Act surprise, kids. Tovak's turn. Oh, I got to put a shield there. And Tovak's turn. 1, 2, and 3. It's a red. 1 more. My turn. I'm going to play steady tempo, power with the blue. I get move 4. I might put it back on top because I have so few movement cards in my hand now. And I have tons of access to blue, which is pretty sick. So that's move 6. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 spaces at 2 each. That's 6. Heading there. And then again, I can do a countryside, core, and that should put the blue city in a good spot either way. I will put this back atop my deck as much as I talked about a big game that I wouldn't. That's a black. This goes there. I'm going to get 2 cards to get out to my hand. I'm at a 6, and I'm going to pillage the village to get up to 8. 1 and 2. Tovak's turn. It's a white, it's a blue, it's a blue. 2 more cards. It is the first time he's pulled more than 4 cards all day, which is absolutely sick. My turn. I'm going to power steady tempo. Well, I'll play Sapphire Ring. I get a blue crystal and a blue mana. I'm going to power steady tempo for move 4. While I'm here, I will... probably explore because, you know, makes some sense. I'll play this stamina for move 2. I'm going to put this out. Oof, the extra countryside tile is playing tricks. Wow, that's a crazy tile. So we got a maze, we got a monastery. So that tile you normally would not have a space to put the dragon. Again, it becomes weird, but now because it's next to this, I could put a secret tomb there. So now we have another tomb to mess with, which is a little bit crazy, but I like it. Yeah, this is Dungeon Lords on hard mode. It's off the camera too. This is face up. We have an orc war beast. Let me move this stuff down. Awesome. A little bit of an earthquake. Earthquake fixed. We're good to go. All right. Well, let me beat the monster first, and then I'll save what I can to try to beat the dragon. That is a third monastery on the board, though. So now we have Crushing Bolt added to the unit offer, or the advanced actions in the unit offer. Oh, that's wild. Okay, that's fine. So I go here, defeat that, go across. Got a little hairier, but I think we're still in good shape. We're just going to have 5 tombs total to defeat, so I definitely need to get a move on. All right, what are you, our fearless friend? I'm glad I have steady tempo. That's going to come in big. Oh, we have a werewolf. So werewolf's nasty. I'm just going to play Snowstorm. I'm going to use this blue because I have so many blue crystals. You know, I think I'm probably better off re-rolling the die and the source to make it a non-blue. So ranged ice attack 5. I've defeated the werewolf. So werewolf is out. No reputation increase. I can put this here. I get 5 fame. It gets up to 39. Is there a better way to defeat this dude? I don't think so. So I'm worried about now I have to face a dragon and I don't have Snowstorm. Let me think about this differently. I don't have a red, which is a problem. I just don't feel like taking that many wounds, and I don't have 14 block. So it's a little bit of an unfortunate enemy, but I would rather Snowstorm from one of the dragons, but I think this is the right way to go. Unfortunately, I have enough strong cards that I should be able to make up for it. Steady Tempo's going... Nah. Are you going back on my deck? No. Steady Tempo... No, fine. I'll put you back on top of my deck for now. And then, I get the 1 fame for Sapphire Ring, which I did not take. And now I'm going to get my reward. My reward is going to be an artifact or a spell. I rolled a green. Please give me something combat-oriented. The Bow of Starsdawn. Don't mind if I do. I mean, I also have the Circular Proficiency, which is I'm kind of reluctant to give up, but the Bow of Starsdawn's too good. So I'm going to take that. We're now going to look at I did a level up over there, so I look at the next 2 things: a green mana and a blue mana, and a blue mana and a red mana. Now those are mana, not crystals, but I will absolutely take that. I don't need the wound management skill right now. And then a card from the offer, I will take Counterattack. Into the Heat. Useless in this scenario. So I'm going to draw up my hand limit, which is 6. So we have Counterattack and the Bow of Starsdawn. We go to Tovak's turn. It's a red, it's a green, it's a white, 2 more. Ooh, he got through his deck pretty quick. So I have 2 more turns this round. Where's... Oh, wow. That's funny. So my level ups prevent me from actually getting. I only drew 2 more cards, so I actually didn't get the steady tempo back in my hand, which is a little nuts. In that case, I would not have. These rages are duplicative. I would have just dropped the rage. I didn't know what my rewards were though. First, did not know my rewards. Uh, but I knew I was going to get counterattack. I knew I was leveling up. I would have dropped the rage, just making sure I didn't get any too much extra information. Yeah, counterattack and rage is duplicative, and then I get the steady tempo that I put back on top of my deck, which makes a lot more sense because now I play steady tempo. I move 2. Hello, dragon. How are you today? And actually, I'll power it so I can get it back on top of my deck because I want to make sure I get here and try to maybe kill that Orc War Beast before the end of the round because that will open up the second day. It is a lava dragon, so he ain't so bad. Lava dragon is attacking with a 5. It has swiftness and poison. Again, poison every wound you get to your hand. 1 goes to your discard pile. If you wound a unit, which I can't anyway because my units are not in this secret tomb, then the unit gets twice. Gets 2 wounds. I'm going to play this, reduce the attack from a 5 to a 4. Now he's swiftness 2, so I need double the block to actually block it. I'm going to reduce the attack to a 3. Or even better, yeah, we'll do it this way. I'm going to get a green and a red mana. I'm going to play Tremor, reduce the armor down to 6. And then I'm going to play the Bow of Stars on. So I'm not using Ritual Attack, which probably isn't great. But I'm going to play the Bow of Stars on. I'm going to get range attack 2 for each card I discard, and that just kills him in the range attack phase. So I don't even need to worry about the cumbersome or any of this crap. It actually might come in handy against the Orc War Beast. So this dude is dead. This red wasn't used. It's just mana. So I get 7 fame. I go to 47. And I get an extra fame because for each enemy you defeat with the Bow of Stars on, you get another fame. So that actually does give me a level up. So my armor is now 4. Tremor actually comes in useful. This goes back on top of my deck. I'm going to get my reward for defeating the dragon. So I'll take the artifact first. Sagitt's recommendation makes a lot of sense. Wow. Amulet of Darkness, gain a mana token of any color. Play during the day. Deserts have their move cost reduced to 3, and you can use black mana as if it's night or the Banner of Glory. I do not need the Banner of Glory, so I guess I'm taking the Amulet of Darkness. And I also get a spell. I will take, Site Fortifications is useless. Underground Travel could be good. Yeah, I'll take Underground Travel. It's probably better than Misform. Underground Travel it is. I draw up to 6. 5 and 6. Yeah, I can probably just skip over that Orc War Beast altogether, which is good. So Tovat declares end of round. That's fine. I'm going to play Underground Travel. I'm going to power it with the gold in the source. And that's going to give me I can move 3 revealed spaces on the map. You may not move through swamps or lakes this way, and you must end your move on a safe space. Moving this way does not provoke rampaging enemies. So I go 1, 2, 3 and end up over there. Fantastic. I'm going to spend March. I'm going to explore twice. We're going to have this tile here. It is the blue city. It's a blue city. Again, that's a friendly city. I'm going to put a shield. This actually should get a shield token to mark where the secret tomb was. I put a shield token on the blue city, so if I'm next to it, I get +1 card draw. I'll put it there so it's visible on the camera. We're going to get a normal Draconum face up here. It is the Ice Dragon, and face down here is the secret tomb. We have another monastery in the board, so that's a 4th advanced action in the unit offer. And I have one more point of movement. I'm going to put this out. It is the desert. So we have another secret tomb. That secret tomb will be here. Fortunately, we're going to night, so it's going to be a lot easier to move through desert. And we have the actual tomb here. So tomb, 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 tomb. I have 4 tombs between me and victory. I'm in a refugee camp, so in theory I could do some recruiting, but that's probably not going to make any sense. I have the option to get a bunch of mana. That's also not going to make any sense. I'm going to have to start breaking these for sure, but I will just move 5 and get myself into this sands so that I can get up there and then start, doing what I need to do with those tombs. All right. And then I'll have like underground travel. I'll have a lot. Once I defeat that tomb, I'll have like a bunch of options to get around without messing with that ice dragon, because who wants to mess with an ice dragon? Not me. So round's over. Got a bunch of cards we didn't get to, but fortunately there's like healing, a bunch of movement. So obviously did not need them. My deck is really good. This readies. I never used I never used that skill. We're just kind of steamrolling right now. It's just a question of, can I move enough to wipe out 4 dragons in the next 2 rounds? And honestly, there's an outside chance I get it on next round. Probably not, but definitely an outside chance. I have not burned down any of these monasteries. It's making me feel like I'm failing at life a little bit. Not gonna lie. This goes away. This gets added to Tovek's deck. These go down. I'm adding 4 more advanced actions to the unit offer. We have Magic Talent, speaking of the Tevil, Temporal Portal, Mana Storm, and Peaceful Moment. Into the advanced action offer, we get Force of Nature. So put that there. The units go away. We are going to reset the unit offer. It's going to start with a advanced unit because we have quartiles on the board. So we have fire mages, peasants, and another advanced one is going to be the Amhotep Gunners. I'm going to re-roll the dice and a source. It's a gold, red, and blue. It's legal. Don't love that gold there, but I do, again, have the Amulet of Day or Sun or whatever the heck it is that I could potentially use that. Should be 19 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Great. I will shuffle these up. Sajid says dice to be rolled. Yes. Kevin M. Do you have a Too Many Bones video where you explain the game some more while playing? Which should I watch then? If you go back to my first Boomer video, but I was still like really learning a lot about that game. But I definitely spend my earliest videos of every game are always where I spend more time explaining, but it's also where I'm still like learning some of the rules. Like my first Classifier video, like I definitely had movement majorly wrong. So I think every video, check the comments, especially my pinned comment, because I'm really like, I try very hard to make sure I note like rules mistakes in the pinned comment so people have an understanding of what they're looking at going in. Sajid says, good job. I am not Team Minotaur. These guys are doing great today. Sajid, look who has a dragon right next to them. This guy. Brian Scolic. Hi, Greg. Great to see Dungeon Lord scenario. I was one shy last time I played it. Still a lot of fun. Sajid said you forgot +1 from the ring. I think I remember that finally. Sajid, next dragon will be ice resistant anyway. You know it. Oh, absolutely. Brian says very true. Hi, Brian. Looks like we meet often these days in random chats. Yes, we do. Mage Knight Live, I'll always try to make. Sajid, I think we can allow you to drop a rage. Swamp Dragon is outraged for being referred to as a lava dragon. Did I say lava? I did. I'm sure I did. You could simply travel under the orc and not have to worry about it, no doubt. If you have some extra time during the last day, you may sneak in a cheeky monastery burning. I might. It'd be fun. All right. So this is shuffled. I'm going to draw to my hand limit, which is 6. 1, 2. So the foresters don't give me -1 movement in the desert. It makes sense because they're not deforesting anything, but it would be nice if they did. Tome of all spells, concentration, rage, swiftness, and druidic paths. It's not the most amazing of things. Again, I don't have a lot. Oh, I don't. Oh, I do have a white. Oh, that's pretty sick. Well, that's kind of fun. I have ideas. I'm up to no good. I'll take. I'll take mana search. I just really don't think preparation or sparing power are going to be that. No, I want to. This deck's so big. Let me make sure I get Snowstorm out. I'll take preparation. Again, this is the last day, last night. There are only 2 nights in this scenario. I rolled a 3, so Tovak was going to be first. And I'm running a Snowstorm. It was all my spells were near the top, so I would have gotten it, but I think it's better to be safe than regret. Because if it was buried at the bottom of my deck, there's a good chance I would not have seen it this round. And since I have no less than 3 dragons I want to defeat this round, I'm gonna definitely want it. But Sag is absolutely right. They're all gonna be ice resistant for sure. All right. Tovak goes first. It is a blue. Oh, did I not add a thing to his inventory? I did not. There should be a blue. Misform should have gone away. Yep. Yeah, it was Called Arms, Wings of Wind, Misform. So you should have another blue in there. And then the new spell is Chill. All right. Blue, red, blue. Oh, 3 more. So he went through 6. So he's only got 13 cards left. Comments? That's something I need to do more often is pillage. Pillaging is so big. Brian, anyway, you can get more cards in hand as an advantage in Mage Knight. Sagitt depends, especially in solo. It may not always be the best option. I find it less useful myself than Greg, honestly. Yeah, Sagitt's doesn't love my absolute adoration for motivation skills. But I digress. So I need to move. I'll play Druidic Pass. The move cost is 1 space reduced by 1 this turn. So again, the move into that desert at night is normally 3. It's now 2, and I am off the screen again. I think this will all fit nicely. Here. Atlantis had a cosmic shift of perspective, but we're good. So this can go off the screen. That can go off the screen. Great. So we're moving 3. We're moving 2, but I get to reduce the cost to go into this desert by 1. So I'm now in that tomb. And I want to save that. That could be good to get back here, to be honest. So let me not do that. I'll use this March. And I'll use, but I want. I won't need this rage. I really won't need this rage. There's no black in the source, which is fine. Yeah, I'm going to do move 2 with the Foresters, and I'm going to play this rage sideways for move 3, and that's going to get me into that tomb. I'm going to hold on to Druidic Pass. All right, pulling a random dragon enemy. Oof. Draconum Summoner. Do not have a black, so that's rough. I was gonna maybe do Whirlwind with Tome of All Spells, but I think I'm gonna need to figure something else out. He's got physical resistance, which is a big problem. I can get 5 ice attack, and 3 physical attack. Oh, I can get 5 ice attack and 5. No, I don't even have a. I can get a green that way. I get 5 ice attack and I get 5 range attack. So I'm actually 1 physical point of range or siege attack away from defeating him. I can say he doesn't attack. Oh, he's got arcane immunity, so the non-attack, non-block effects wouldn't work anyway. So tornado would not have worked for me anyway. I gave up that red, so I can't use demolish. But again, that wouldn't work on him anyway because he has arcane immunity. So I have to do this the hard way. All right, Draconum Summoner is attacking me with 2 monster enemies. So we have the Gargoyle, and we have the Werewolf. Okay. If I don't block any of that, that's 2 4 wounds, which isn't terrible. None of those attacks are really that bad. I could just rest next turn and feel kind of good about that. 4 doesn't knock me out. It's probably not worth wasting my stuff. I can use this. 5 ace attack. Green, blue. To reduce, but I think I'm gonna want. No, I won't need that +1 attack. That's fine. So I'm going to reduce the attack of the Gargoyle by 1, but I take 1 wound from him, 2 wounds from the Werewolf, and then they both go away. And now in the melee part of the turn, I'm going to flip this over, get a green and a blue. I'm going to use the blue to power Snowstorm. That's ice attack 5. That's going to give me, I have 3 points of armor left that I need to deal with. And I'm going to use the green to power Swiftness. I get the stronger effect +2, so that's physical attack 5. And then I'll play this March Sideways to give me physical attack 6. So physical attack 6 plus ice attack 5 is enough to defeat the Draconum Summoner, even with his 8 armor and physical resistance. So he's dead. I get 9 fame. I go from 48 up to 57. This goes away. This goes away. And this goes away. I'm going to reset this. I'm going to get my new 48 up to 57. Yeah, flipped over a little bit. I'm going to get a new artifact and a new spell because this was a tomb. I'm going to put a shield over here. Yoink. Mysterious box or the banner of protection. Like, what the heck is going on with this? I'll take the mysterious box even though I hate it. This goes here. And I'll get a spell. I will get no black, man. I'm going to keep Whirlwind there because I think it could be useful. I still have a few white cards. I will take Chill because I have the blues. And that will go there. All right, I drew to my hand limit, which is 6, so just 1 more. It is Chill. Tovak's second turn. It's a green, a white, and a red. 1 more. So he went through 10 cards. He went through 9 cards. He has 9 left. No, he went through 10 cards. He has 8 left, which makes sense. My turn. I'm going to play Druidic Pass, power with the blue. Move 4 to move cost of 1 type of terrain is reduced by 1. So it's going to be move 6 total to get here. I move there. I'm going to then end my turn. I draw 1 card. I'm probably just going to use Mysterious Box to rest, and then that will give me a chance to hopefully defeat both of those by the end of the round. Tovak's turn is a green, a red, and a blue. 3 more. Oof. Tovak is blowing through his deck. I'm going to rest with Mysterious Box. Those go out. I draw 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3. This is an unbelievably bad draw. Crystallize, Sapphire Ring, Mana Draw, and Promise. Fantastic, guys. Tovak is going to declare end of round next turn. All right, my turn. I'm entering this secret tomb. It is tomb, whatever. It is the Fire Dragon. I'm going to play Chill. Target enemy, I'm going to power it with this blue. Target enemy does not attack this turn. And if it has fire resistance, it loses it for the rest of the turn. Now, had it have ice resistance, it would still attack me, but fortunately it doesn't. And then I'm going to play the Tome of all spells. I'm going to discard a card of any color. I'm discarding Promise. Use a stronger effect of a spell of the same color from the spell's offer without paying its mana cost. You may do this even during the day. So I'm breaking the Tome of all spells to play Whirlwind. Play only during the attack phase of combat. Destroy target enemy. I have destroyed the Fire Dragon. That gets me 8 fame. That gets me up to 65. I'm also going to play, well, actually, I wouldn't have used this. I had Sapphire Ring, so I would have used the blue mana, get another fame. And unlimited supply of black actually could have been a little bit useful. I'll play Crystallize. I'll power it with the red. Now I'll power it with the green. These are all special effects and get a green crystal. And then these all go away. I did not use a die from the source before that. I'll re-roll that. End of my turn, I get my rewards because I defeated the tomb. I'm going to get 2 artifacts. Hey, something useful. Horn of Wrath or the Sword of Justice. Sword of Justice can be pretty sick. Horn of Wrath, I think I take. It's a little bit safer. They're both amazing. And then I grab a spell. I will grab no whites, man. I'll grab Demolish. I mean, there's no site fortifications, but the -1 could help. I mean, Whirlwind is just not gonna do it for me, but I don't have any whites. I draw to my, oh, now I do my level up. I look at my next 2 skills. There should be another one of Tovak's skills in here. Ooh, so Shapeshift and more mana. I would love more mana, please. So Shapeshift, you can only use it on basic cards, so it's not as strong as you want it to be. Again, I'm a little bit mana poor, and this will give me a white, which could be really helpful. My next spell, or next advanced action, I will take Force of Nature. All right, drawing out my hand, which is 6. So Force of Nature, Demolish, Horn of Wrath, Improvisation, and Tremor. That will work. Tovak declares end of round. I need to move to green, blue, green. Do I need those? Yeah, I'm going to play Improvisation and Mana Draw Sideways to move 2. And I'm attacking this dragon in this secret tomb over here. Oh, shoot, it's a woods. Oh, never mind. I didn't see that. Looks like a plains, man, lays a plane trick on me. So it's actually move 5 to get in there. I can move 5. Great. Improvisation, power it with the red, move 5. So now I have no dice. I have no more mana in the source. But I should be okay. And actually, let me do it this way. It's fine. So what do we have? It is the Storm Dragon, which is not great. So The Stone Dragon has elusive, so it's going to be 14 to defeat in the siege or range attack phase. If I can't do it then I need to block it. Block is going to be a ice block. It's an ice attack 4 with swiftness, so it's going to be 16 physical block to block it, because the ice physical block is inefficient against ice attack, and then it's double because of the swiftness. If I had fire block, it would only be 8 fire block to do it. Remember, I could reduce that attack a number of different ways. And then the question is, how do I get enough siege attack? I, in theory, could get the siege attack pretty easily with the Horn of Wrath and a Force of Nature, but I have to break the Horn of Wrath and risk a bunch of wounds. I think the best bet here is I reduce the attack to a 3 with that skill. I reduce the attack to a 2 with that skill. And now I've added Cumbersome, so then I could actually just play those 2 cards sideways, and I've reduced the attack all the way to a 0. That is considered blocked. If you use Cumbersome to reduce it to a 0, it's considered blocked because you basically exhausted the enemy. And now, so thematically speaking, and now I just need 7 attack to defeat it. So I'm going to play the Horn of Wrath for 5 attack. I'm going to exhaust this to get 2 greens. I'm only going to take the 1. I'll play Force of Nature for the siege attack 3. So that is enough attack to use it. Now, when I play the Horn of Wrath, I need to roll a die. On a red or a black, I take a wound. That is a white. We're good there. So this dude is dead. I get 7 more fame. I go from 66 up to 73. Out. Do not level up, but I'm going to have to get my reward. So let me roll that. That's a white. This deck is bananas. This technically would flip. This goes here. Looking at the next 2 things, Soul Harvester or Endless Gem Pouch. Soul Harvester, the more attack I can get in my deck, the better. And spell. Disease is pretty fun. I'll take that. All right. At the end of the round, again, a whole bunch of my deck it did not get through. It's ridiculous, but defeated those 3 dragons. My hand limit is going to be +1 because I'm next to a friendly city. And now I have to figure out how the heck I'm getting back. Now, remember, I cannot use the labyrinth through lakes, but I could, in theory, start there and head over here. So that'd be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I would just have to get over there and defeat that. I don't really want to mess with the ice dragon. That dude is no bueno. So these all flip back up. Remember, I have access to all the mana in the world, which is why the Endless Gem Pouch didn't really make any sense. I only have burned 1 of my artifacts, which is ridiculous. But we're going into the final round. It depends, especially in solo. Wait, do you have enough for Whirlwind? Your armor is 4, so just 3 wounds. Oh, never mind. You could try for a 3rd dragon this round. Now this, this will die same as the rest of them. See, told you. Sagitt is sees things quicker than me for sure. All right, this is done. This deck is ridiculous. This goes away. Add a blue to the inventory of Tovak, so obviously he could easily jump through his deck in 4 turns. Oh, Rush of Adrenaline comes here. We have Blood Ritual, we have Learning, and we have Training. This comes here. It is maximal effect. These units go away. 2 elite units go here. Regular unit. New units in the offer are Alta Mages, the Herbalists, and nope, not you, and the Catapults. Now, mind you, you could go into the city and recruit units. You could do all the stuff that you normally would do. Of course, if I went into the city now, I would get attacked by the Ice Dragon, and that's probably not great. Rolling that, it's a black, red, red. Again, with that power spike in this scenario is just absolutely bananas. I have 20 cards in this deck. That's good. We get another white crystal in the inventory, so whites and blues will both go through 6 cards. Mana Bolt comes out there. I think really the MVP of the scenario has to be Steady Tempo. I mean, it's just such a good card to just get you, just really helps you maximize those early rounds. Although I don't think I even saw it the last round, which makes sense. All right. The day tactics are Mana Steal or Rethink. I will absolutely take a Rethink. Let me go first. So I'm going to draw to my hand limit, which is 6. It's actually 7 because I'm adjacent to the blue city. So Demolish, Stamina, Determination, Mysterious Box, Cure, Horn of Wrath, and Mana Draw. I need movement like crazy. So I'm going to play, again, I use Rethink, so I could discard up to 3 cards. I'm going to discard Mysterious Box. I'm going to discard Demolish, and I'm going to discard Mana Draw. Just don't think it's that helpful. I draw 3 new cards: Improvisation, Swiftness, and Underground Travel. Rethink goes away. These 3 cards get reshuffled into my deck. Remember, I could, in theory, go here, and since that's adjacent to 3, I could explore with a new tile out of the box, but that would mean if it does have a tomb as part of the win conditions of the scenario, I would be expected to defeat it. Again, you could only do, so it would be a random countryside tile from the box, and you can only do it when it's adjacent to 3, so it basically fills holes. All right. So I'm going first. Underground travel would not go underneath water. So the crazy thing is it's actually not very effective for me right now. It could get me here, which isn't helpful. It can get me here, which isn't helpful. So I'm going to have to go through the labyrinth system in the tunnels. So I'm going to play Stamina to get move 4. And now I've entered the tunnel system with 2, and then it's going to be 1 point for each space I go through that's not a swamp or a lake. He's on a mountain. Just making sure that dragon's not on a swamp. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need move 8 more, or 4 more, because I played 4 there. I'll use improvisation, and I will discard swiftness. So that's move 9. That's there. So I have 1 point of movement left over. I have underground travel. I would like to get the green to use it. So I'm going to use the Foresters to move 2 and get me here. I end my turn there, so I get a green crystal. And that should work. I'm going to re-roll this. It's black. I don't really trust that source at all. So I probably might not have wanted to burn out the Foresters, but I have enough other movement cards. I should be okay. Underground Travel is going to get me here, and then I'll just be move 5 more. So maybe I don't. It was 9. I had 1 more. Yeah, I needed to use. I didn't have cards. I wanted to turn sideways. So I draw to my hand limit, which is 6. Snowstorm and Steady Tempo. Oh, don't mind if I do. Tovak's turn. It is a green, it's a blue, it's a red, 1 more, so he has 16 cards left. My turn. I'm going to play Underground Travel, power it with the green, moving 3 spaces to a safe space. Don't provoke rampaging enemies. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play Steady Tempo, power it with the blue. That's move 4. And I will play. I'm most likely doing this in the siege phase, right? So I'll play Cure Sideways for move 5. It gets me right where I want to be. These go away. Draw to my hand limit, which is 6. So 1 with the land, Rage, and Force of Nature. Tovak's turn. It is a blue, a white, and a red. 1 more. It's a blue. My turn. The dragon of the hour is a lava dragon. So I should call him a swamp dragon to even things out, but I will call him a lava dragon. So he's fire resistant. He has unit fortification, so I cannot defeat him with ranged attack, but I can defeat him with siege attack. Remember, night rules apply. So I'm going to play this blue from my inventory, this black from the source. So that's I take a wound for that. That is siege ice attack 8. That's enough to defeat him. That gives me 8 fame. I go from 73 to 81. That's a level up. I get another thing out, roll that. It's black, end of my turn. I could play One with the Land as a healing effect. So healing effects you can play at any point in your turn to get rid of that wound. And I put a shield on there. I take an artifact. I take a spell. I could burn down that monastery, just be cheeky to use Sage's word. But yeah, I mean, I have 8 more siege attack in my hand, plus absolute ridiculousness. Boa stars on 3 wounds. Someone can tell me my score. It's good. It's really good. That was crazy. That extra countryside tile out of the extra tomb. And yeah, I mean, I think you could put another countryside tile on here and probably be okay. Like this would not. So if I actually filled that hole, it would not have added a tomb, but I would have. It would have given me some other complications. Been a little bit closer. Yeah, I probably could have. Yeah, there was no way to get out anyway. I mean, really, this was my closest shot, so that was really weird. It was really weird. I mean, I guess I could have moved here, then use underground travel. But I wouldn't have been able to explore. So yeah, I definitely don't want to provoke that attack. But this is a really fun scenario. I actually think that this might be one of the best scenarios for new players. And the reason why is it gives you a chance to really see the spells. I mean, there are only 20 spells in the game that you use if you're, playing without the competitive spells. So it gives you a chance to see all the spells. It also gives you a chance to see a lot of the artifact deck. And again, there's only like 24 artifacts, I think. If you have with the Ultimate Edition card, I think it's how many? So there's 25 artifacts, including the mysterious box. And I think it's just really good to see how strong those artifacts and those spells are, and like find a few of your favorites that will help you win those early games as you're still kind of learning the game. So I think it's a really, really nice scenario for new players in that sense. It could give you a false sense of like what the power surge could be like, because again, you're playing Solar Conquest, you're not going to end up with this deck. I mean, this deck is really stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4 spells, I think, 7 artifacts. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. I mean, I only broke one of my artifacts. That's unusual. But it also, I think this playthrough shows you like how strong movement is. I mean, the fact that I had movement, like everything else kind of came together in this scenario because you have so many built-in ways that you're going to get spells, you're going to get artifacts. I think the closest, the hairiest things was when I forget what dragon it was, but I think it was this tomb here where I had to use that spell and use a cumbersome and really kind of whittle it down. And then I just had a way to kill it, and ended up once I defeated that, the rest of it just really kind of fell together pretty easily. So that was pretty cool. All right, we have Paul de Guida says your armor is 4, so just 3 ones. Never mind. You could try for a third. Brian says productive round. Do you often find having to backtrack in this scenario? I do. I think an early tomb, if you have an early monastery, like I just kind of plan on leaving it and coming back. It can be really rough. Hands up everyone who wants to see the monastery burnt. Well, it looks like we'll be unlucky. Good points on spells and artifacts. Oh well, next time. I mean, I give the monks enough grief. Let the monks just eat their monk porridge and relative peace for once. So look, Friday I'm doing a playthrough of Saltlands. Again, that was a patron challenge. The game was sent to me by Philip as a something he wanted me to see. Game he wanted to see me play. It's interesting. I went from very much disliking it to it growing on me, which isn't the normal trend. Normally, if I very much dislike something, I don't. It's kind of over. If I'm kind of like, and sometimes I grow to really love a game. I mean, Too Many Bones, I was like, it's Cloud Spire is like, so it's a chip theory thing for me for sure. Arkham Horror, I think of other games that like I really, really grew to love. the more I played them. So I don't know if I'll ever grow to love Saltlands, but I've grown to like it and appreciate what it's trying to be. I think I like what it's trying to be more than what it is. But we could talk more about that on Friday. But definitely check it out if you're into like that Mad Max, like post-apocalyptic dystopian garbage. I don't mean garbage pejoratively. If you just like that genre, like I think you'd really, really, really love this game. So it'd be worth checking out. Monday, I'm really excited. I got my first playthrough of Uprising. I'm putting on the channel. That should be crazy. Um, Uprising is really good. It's really hard. It's a lot of dice rolling. We all know how I roll dice, so you know. But it's very cool. I like a lot of that game. So that's gonna be on the channel Monday. I'm gonna do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week because I'm away at the end of the week. So I'm gonna do 3 in a row. So it's Uprising, Spirit Island, and I think I'm gonna get back to a Zeds sometime next week. So check those out. We have Let the Monks Eat Their Chips. Chipmunks. Paul DeGuidas. I got here late. I was a little confused. Looks like you rolled. I'll watch the whole playthrough later. Thanks. No, thank you, Paul. Yeah, it was it started a little bit. It started really good in every sense, except I didn't really start taking out many dungeons. I got a dungeon late that first round, but yeah, second, third, fourth round were pretty bananas. And still sitting here with, probably 3 turns left in the last round. 1, 2, 3. So it would have been white. And then 1, 2, 3 would have been white. Oh, so he would have gone through the rest of his deck. So I still would have had 4 more turns if I needed them. So that was pretty good. But yeah, so 4 more playthroughs coming up, and then I'm away for a week. I'm gonna have my Return to Dark Tower edited and on the channel sometime the week I'm away, and then we'll be back with the 3 live playthroughs a week for pretty much all of the rest of August. So lots of cool things planned, and excited. So any special requests, always please put stuff in the comments. Like put games on my radar. I mean, it's how this channel continues to grow and how I continue to learn about games that might have missed. I can't promise I'm going to buy them all. I will generally reach out to a publisher and try to get a review copy at minimum, and then I'll decide if I want to actually make the purchase. If they say no, I will admit most of the time, if they say no, I'm probably not wanting to make the purchase, but there are exceptions. I still am buying games like everyone else. And a lot of times I find like when I get a review copy, if I like the game, I'm very eager to support the publisher, and then I'll end up like backing the next Kickstarter. Like I did with Uprising. Like they sent me a review copy, and I was happy to jump on the next Kickstarter because I like the game so much. So, Sagitt, your early 2 rounds were good for covering a lot of the ground. That set up nice for the Dragon Demolition later. And then, I mean, all I played those last 2 weeks is Ark Nova, so there is a suggestion. Oh, dude, I've played a lot of Ark Nova competitively. I haven't played it solo yet. I've thought about borrowing it from a friend, and I've been offered. We'll see. If as long as my gaming group plays it competitively, I'm gonna hold off. But if we stop playing it as much, I might dive into it a little bit more. There's a lot I like about that game. There's some things I don't like about that game. I get the hype, especially for a gaming community that loves Terraforming Mars as much as it does. So it scratches a lot of itches. I'd be curious to see how it plays in the Atoma. But I really, after basically making my friend group, my friends not want to play Gaia projects with me anymore, or not want to play sites with me anymore. Like I've learned my lesson about getting too good at games I play competitively, and all these games are like, the more experienced you are at a game, the better you are, right? And like I'm sure like experienced Gaia players would crush me, right? I'm sure, like, or at least they would be really good games. But my friend group, they're not really good Gaia players. They just play Gaia once in a while. And now they just don't play ever with me anymore because it's just not as fun for them. But sad just not perfect is good fun. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I found that I like the animals way more than I expected. Yeah, I agree. The art, it's one of those games where the art on video like always like kind of was put me off. I was like, I don't really care, but then in person it like works for me. I think Uprising's like that too. Like when I saw it on video, I never like the pieces always looked like child stories and a little tacky. But in person, they're like, "Oh, this is really cool." Like I love the production of that game. I'm a little worried how it's going to work on camera, especially with the overhead. But I think we'll be able to come off. We'll be able to pull it off, and I'll put things on their side a lot just so we can at least see what's going on. But yeah, the animal part's really cool. I like building the zoo out. I think my biggest problem with Ark Nova is and it'd probably be less of a problem in a solo game. But whenever you have a huge deck of cards like that, like it's hard to balance. And you're going to find some strategies that just absolutely come together and some strategies that don't. And halfway through the game, it's not the kind of game where you can totally shift your strategy. I mean, you can. There's part of the skill of any game is learning how to kind of go with the flow and augment what you're doing under the circumstances as the game state evolves. But there's only so much you can do that in a game like Arc Nova. Like, if you're going in one direction looking for one kind of animals, or you need research cards, or you need sponsors, or whatever, and those cards just don't come up, you're just going to be like unable to kind of do what you need to do. And I think that can be frustrating. But again, the better you get at the game, the more you learn how to adjust, the more you learn how to anticipate, and try to maybe have a secondary option there for you to go down. I also find like the research stuff can really stack. If you end up with like a research strategy early, or a couple good research cards that reward you for research cards being played, I feel like you can really kind of run away with things in a way that isn't great. But and I've been on both ends of that. So this isn't like sour grapes. Like, I've definitely been on both ends of that. So I think the last time I played, I scored like 30 something points. And my friend had like -4, and I just was able to run away with the game and artificially make it end sooner. But they mentioned they would do something about cycling cards in an upcoming expansion. Cool. And then Saja says exactly to balance a bit and make it more easy to find what you're looking for. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be really good. Saja says plus marine creatures are coming. Ooh, wonderful. I would. I'm mildly obsessed with narwhals. So maybe they'll have narwhals, but the reality is narwhals can never be kept in captivity, so they probably won't. Don't ask me why I love narwhals. It's like a big long joke in my life, and it is what it is. We might have had like a 4-foot narwhal, stuffed narwhal in our house, which we eventually gave to our niece because we realized we just didn't need it in our living room where it was living for about 3 years. But yeah, dude. I've actually looked into swimming with narwhals. It's very expensive. I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you got 10 grand per person lying around, you just want to go swim in the Arctic. But it's also going to be very cold. But this was super fun. I'm in the probably the TMI portion of the evening. Thank you for joining me as always for Mage Knight. It's always fun to get this on the channel, and especially now that I'm getting on the channel even more than I was. We'll be back with Mage Knight in 3 weeks, because next week Spirit Island, then I'm off for a week, then we'll be back in if we back in Atlantis. Operative word is may have had. I don't. I have to watch it back to see the context for that one, but may have had. Oh yeah. Oh, about the 4-foot narwhal in our house. Yeah, which Brian Scully says you need taco cat goat cheese pizza. Do I? Okay. I'll check it out, I guess. And then Sajid says, cheers, everyone. Good game. Thank you, sir. This was super fun. And we didn't see a single manticore, which is unbelievable. Price Galaxy has narwhals in it. Of course it does. That's amazing. I mean, hey, if it has narwhals, it's my kind of thing. So I don't know if there's one video I wore where Sarah bought me a shirt that said I'm a narwhal and has like this goofy like picture of a narwhal, like a drawing of a narwhal on it. It's like when she bought it for me, I was like, "What is this?" And now it's like one of my favorite shirts. So anyway, definitely TMI. We're gonna leave before I say other incriminating and embarrassing things. Again, this is really fun. Questions, comments, epiphanies, put them in the comment section below. If you want to see a general idea of what's coming up in Solo Playthroughs Land, link to my Patreon page is below. I have a public post. Just look for July's public post. I will have August's public post up there pretty soon, so look out for that. But thanks for joining me. Until the next time, happy gaming.
Solo.